Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Some of you might have noticed that I haven't been posting for the past 1 month. It's because I just gave birth to my little one, Niall. Hey Betty. After nearly 1 month of sleepless nights, I'm finally ready to be back to YouTube and resume my passion to produce quality finance-related content for you guys. Delivering a baby in the United States can be very expensive, and without proper planning, you might find yourself trapped with a gigantic hospital bill, which is worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. In today's video, I'm gonna share with you guys how I only paid $100 to cover a $100K delivery expense. And if you are a new expectant parent, I will teach you step by step on how to minimize your out-of-pocket expenses so you can avoid a surprise medical bill. So without further ado, let's start. First of all, it's important to have a rough estimate of how much your hospital bill will look like before you even pick your insurance plan. A quick disclaimer here that your medical bill will vary depending on the state you live in, the hospital you choose to deliver your baby, and whether there's any complications. So make sure you conduct your own due diligence for your personal situations. So I had my delivery at the Lucille Packard Children's Hospital at Stanford, and the total amount they charge for all the services add up to $100,000. And because the hospital is an in-network provider, which means member rate is only $29,000. And then my deductible in this case is $1,400. And because I had a life-changing event, so I added my kid to my medical insurance plan, which had bumped up my deductible from $1,400 to $2,800. So let's take a closer look on the breakdowns. So majority of the expense, about 70%, came from the 2 days I've stayed at the hospital. The first expense is the 2 nights stay at the hospital, and this is 100% covered. And then we've got pharmacy, IV, laboratory, ultrasound, anesthesia, and then a few others. The next big chunk of expense came from the nursery or newborn services, which are the 2 days right after my baby was born that I've spent at the maternity unit. And then it comes with all the laboratory they did for the kid, including vision checks, sound checks, vaccine, laboratory, and then having the nurses caring for our child. And finally, there are some other expenses such as the emergency anesthesia, that is the epidural that I took, which is not covered by insurance. And then this portion of the claim is my OB doctor who came on delivery on the day off. So as you guys can see, $100,000 is a ridiculous amount of money that you have to pay for delivery. Without picking a good insurance plan ahead of time, you will find yourself a huge medical bill, which can be completely avoided with some strategic planning ahead of time. So before I show you guys how I pick my insurance plan, it's really important to understand 4 key concepts: co-insurance, copay, deductible, and out-of-pocket maximum. So deductible is a fixed amount of money that you have to pay before your insurance plan kicks in. In my case, my plan's deductible is $2,800 for family and $1,400 for single. And the reason why I only had to pay $100 out of pocket is my company offers a $2,700 HSA seed money as long as you pick a high deductible health plan, also known as the HDHP. The downside of this plan is the number of providers that are in network are extremely restrictive, that are only limited to those in the Bay Area. And since I was already planning to have a baby, and because of COVID, I knew I wouldn't be traveling out of states, so it was a great option for me to have a higher deductible while still taking advantage company seed money. So make sure you check out the fine prints of what your company currently offers. So co-insurance kicks in when your deductible has been met. So let's say if you have a 20% co-insurance, this means your plan will cover remaining 80% of your medical expense that are in addition to your deductible amount. So in my case, I have a 100% co-insurance paid by my provider, so I don't have to worry about paying extra after the $2,800 has been met. Copay is a fixed amount that's paid each time you visit your doctor's office or have a prescription, and the remaining will be covered by your insurance provider. Out-of-pocket maximum is the maximum amount of money you have to pay for medical expenses for that entire year. So anything extra, your insurance company will take care of it. And the really easy way to understand it is this 3-tier system as I illustrated here. The very first amount you have to pay is your deductible. And once you met that, your co-insurance kicks in, which could be 100% covered by your provider or 20/80 or any other amount. And finally, once you reach your out-of-pocket maximum, any extra money will be covered by your insurance company. So in order to pick the best insurance plan, it's important for you to run some numbers. So in this video, I provided you with a spreadsheet I've linked down below where you can plug in some parameters based on your personal situation. For example, how much medical bill you're looking to incur, what's your premium expense, whether there's company seed money, what's the deductible amount, and so on. So make sure you check it out and use that as a guideline of figuring out how much you would owe out of pocket. This may mean that you might want to pick a plan with a higher premium in exchange for a lower deductible. An important tip here is always go with an in-network provider because that will drastically lower your out-of-pocket expense. For example, sometimes your OB doctors might be in-network, but the hospital you deliver in is out-of-network. So make sure you check on both before you commit. And finally, I want to talk about some tips that you can use when paying your medical bill. First, before you pay any bill, make sure you double check the numbers. If there is any unexpected amount, you can always contact the hospital administration. Sometimes you could either negotiate or dispute certain charges. So do not pay any of the amount that you're not sure of. And my second tip is never use your FSA or HSA debit card to pay for your expense straight up. What I generally do is I use my credit card to pay my out-of-pocket expenses and then reimburse it later. This way you can gain some credit card points. Oftentimes it's actually a great way to meet your minimum credit card spend. For example, one of my favorite credit card right now is the Amex Gold, which currently has a historical high offer of $60,000 if you have a $4,000 minimum spend in the first 6 months. And in addition to that, you can get a 20% cash back on restaurants up to a $250 for the 1 year since your account opened. So I'll link my referral in the description box, and I highly encourage you guys to sign it up because it is the best offer I have seen. And when I signed up myself, I wasn't able to get this offer. And my final tip is for those of you who own an HSA, I actually recommend you not to reimburse it until you retire to allow the money to grow. I've actually explained it exactly why in this video. I've linked it here, so make sure you check it out. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want future contents like this related to finance, investment, and savings, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Give a thumbs up to this video. This will help me a lot. Until next time, bye guys.